Senator Cruz. Always good to talk with you. Thanks for joining us today.
Dana, it's great to be with you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, we've been talking about this whole issue with the bathroom bill fights and how, I mean, we know that there's a ton of other issues out there, but you know this, and the people listening know this, our audiences in Pennsylvania and Indiana and everywhere else. This is not about bathrooms. This is a variable. It's one weird variable in an argument about forced acceptance. What is your thought as to the state's role in this?
Well, this is about the radical forces of political correctness that are ignoring common sense and trying to impose an extreme agenda on America. You know, this discussion all reached a fore yesterday on the Today Show when Donald Trump agreed with Hillary Clinton and agreed with Barack Obama that grown men should be allowed to go into a restroom, a girl's room with little girls. Now, Dana, that's a crazy position. This is basic common sense. You know, I'm the father of 2 young daughters. Mm-hmm. It is basic common sense that a grown adult man, a stranger, should not be alone in a bathroom with a little girl. That's not a question of left or right or Democrat or Republican. It's basic common sense. Mm. But the PC police, the zealots, they don't want to acknowledge that, and Donald Trump agrees with Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama that he would allow grown men, adult men, to be in the bathroom with little girls. That doesn't make any sense. And, you know, it's the same sort of zealotry that resulted in ESPN firing Kurt Schilling for making the obvious point. No, adult men should not be alone in the bathroom with little girls. And you know, a few months ago, Donald Trump told all of us he could be the most politically correct person on earth. Well, We've just seen an illustration of Donald joining the PC police, and I think enough is enough. Let's have a return to common sense.
Yeah, it seems to me, I thought, and I held that viewpoint too, I thought, well, you know, at least he's fought political correctness, but this seems to be caving to political correctness, because one day it may be about bathrooms, one day it may be like Missouri's dealing with a bill that would, it seeks to protect pastors from being penalized if they refuse to officiate a same-sex ceremony. And that's all. It's an addendum to the amendment, and it's just protecting pastors. There are people in Missouri, the politically correct crowd, who don't even want to bring it up for a vote, not even amending the Constitution yet. They don't even want to bring it up for a vote. So it could be something, I mean, it's a slippery slope.
Well, and this is also, you know, the last 48 hours have been pretty remarkable because Donald Trump is really showing his true colors. Donald has come out for grown men being in the bathrooms with little girls. In that same interview, Donald Trump came out for raising taxes. So now Donald and Hillary both agree that taxes should be raised. I think that's a terrible idea and would hurt our economy. Mm. Donald also, his campaign is now being run by Washington lobbyists. The head of his campaign is a longtime Washington lobbyist who's been lobbying for him.
Right.
And
right, K Street. He's breaking up. Senator's breaking up just a little bit here for us, but he just, and I think we may have just lost him. We'll see if we can get him back. But he's speaking to the K Street folks that he recently brought on, and you know, I just. At least, though, these are people that kind of keep him on message, just, you know, a little bit. But the point is that, you know, it's about forced acceptance, and this is one variable. And we are continually people who just want to dissent, people who want to have the free practice of faith. This is all a variable. And folks don't realize that once you invite the state in to be the ultimate arbiter over this stuff, that can easily be turned and used against you very easily for that. And I was kind of shocked because that was a caving. That was a caving to political correctness on that. And I know that you know, there are a few people out there who probably disagree with me on primary preference, but the thing is you know, I was talking to a friend the other day, actually yesterday evening, going back and forth. It was Facebook messaging, and they had emailed me, my friend had emailed me and said, yeah, I was kind of shocked to see this caving to political correctness. Like, people are seeing it. We got the senator back. I'm not surprised that, you know, we would lose cell phone reception because he is traveling all over the country. And Senator, let me take you to our next question here, because coming up, I mean, we have these Tuesday primaries. Pennsylvania, we have great markets out in Pennsylvania. We have some of our favorite affiliates are out there. It's a great area. We got WBLF, WFYL, WPSN, and this is a state when I've seen. When I look at New York and I compare New York's GDP and I look at what Pennsylvania has been doing, New York banned fracking. Pennsylvania is actually welcoming it. One of the top concerns that voters have is job security and the economy. They've actually been a little bit more freer than their neighbors to the north. This is what people are focused on, these issues.
Dana, you're exactly right. You know, we're barnstorming Pennsylvania right now. We're on a bus tour. We had a big rally in Williamsport this morning, and we've got a big rally in Scranton coming up this afternoon, and my number one priority as president is jobs and economic growth, bringing jobs back to America, reducing the burdens on small businesses. And the key to our economy, as you know, is small businesses. The way to unleash the economy is lift the boot of the federal government off the back of the necks of small businesses. If I'm elected president, we're going to repeal every single word of Obamacare. We're going to pass a simple flat tax and abolish the IRS. We're going to rein in the EPA and the regulators that are killing jobs. And here in Pennsylvania, the Obama administration is killing the coal industry, destroying thousands of jobs, and it's also hammering the oil and gas industry. If Hillary Clinton is elected president, she will ban fracking and take away thousands of high-paying jobs in Pennsylvania. And as president, I will stop amnesty, secure the borders, end sanctuary cities, and end welfare benefits for those here illegally. And the effect of that is that we're going to see millions and millions of high-paying jobs coming back to America. We're going to see manufacturing jobs coming back to Pennsylvania, back from China, back from Mexico, and we're going to see wages rising of working men and women. We're going to see young people coming out of school again with opportunity and hope, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 job offers again. That's the heart of this election. I think it's what the people of Pennsylvania want.
Yes. And, of course, job security, looking ahead towards Indiana. Indiana, coming up May 3rd, that's also going to be a very important state for your campaign. Very important state. And I was telling our Hoosier friends out there, I said, folks, you know, the eyes of the country are turning to you out there in Indiana, because as it's coming up on it, you know, Trump is saying, well, you know, Cruz he's mathematically out on the first ballot. He's not eligible yet for the first round ballot either. And I understand how critically important Indiana is, because from what I understand, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, Senator, it seems that you may be looking at a second ballot victory at the convention, and that's what you're trying to secure.
Yeah, where we are headed right now is that nobody is going to get to 1237. Nobody's going to win a majority on the first ballot. Trump won't get to 1237, and neither will anybody else. That means we're headed to a contested convention. We're going to go into Cleveland. I'm going to have a bunch of delegates. Donald's going to have a bunch of delegates. And it's going to be a battle to see who can earn the support of a majority of the delegates elected by the people. And Indiana is absolutely pivotal. If Trump loses Indiana, he can't get to 1237. And so the people of Indiana have an opportunity really to stand up and speak. And for that matter, so do the people of Pennsylvania and Maryland and Delaware and Rhode Island and Connecticut. But an opportunity to stand up and, number one, say, we want to support a campaign that is a positive, optimistic, forward-looking, conservative campaign built on real solutions to bring jobs back to America, to raise wages, to bring manufacturing jobs back to our country. But number two, we want to support a campaign that can win. If Donald Trump is the nominee, Hillary Clinton wins, and she wins by double digits. If I'm the nominee, we beat Hillary Clinton. We are beating her in key swing states. We're beating Hillary Clinton in Ohio. Donald Trump is losing to Hillary Clinton in Ohio. We're beating Hillary Clinton in Iowa. Donald Trump is losing to Hillary Clinton in Iowa. Here in Pennsylvania, critical swing state, Donald Trump is losing to Hillary Clinton in Pennsylvania. Hillary and I are tied in Pennsylvania, and I believe we're going to win Pennsylvania in November. And that's why, Dana, so many Republicans are unifying behind our campaign, because we've got to win, and we've got to turn the country around and bring jobs back.
Last question for you, Senator. I know you're on a tight schedule here, and you've been involved, of course, in the delegate fight as well. In Wisconsin, I've been in Wisconsin. I was up there working with grassroots during the recall fight. And for 10 years, I've been telling people, get involved in the delegate system, get involved in precincts, get involved in committees. These are public. They're advertised. You can go, you can run for this, you can get involved. At Colorado, that's how they run theirs differently from some of the other states, but it's advertised, it's public. And if people don't participate, they run the risk of disenfranchising themselves. And I know that this is something that your campaign, and that even before announcing your run for the White House, you've been encouraging people to get involved at the ground level of this.
Sure. Dana, that's exactly right. Elections matter and the grassroots matter. The strength of our campaign from day one has been the grassroots, has been the conservative activists, the libertarians, the young people, the people who are passionate about changing the direction of our country. And, the mainstream media has been hyperventilating about Donald's winning New York a couple of days ago. Well, of course Donald won his home state. Everyone knew Donald was going to win his home state. Before that, the 3 weeks that preceded that, 5 states voted. Utah, North Dakota, Wisconsin, Colorado, Wyoming. A total of 1.3 million people voted in those 5 states, and we won 5 landslides in a row in each of those states. Now, those are very, very different states. You've got some Mountain West states. You've got Wisconsin, which is an upper Midwest industrial state. Mm-hmm. You've got Colorado, which is a purplish libertarian state. And we won landslides at each of them. That really shows how Republicans are coming together and unifying. And by the way, it's important to note, I won more votes in the state of Wisconsin than Donald Trump won in the state of New York.
And in Texas with a wide primary field, too.
In Texas, I won more than twice as many votes as Donald Trump won in New York. And so the media views it as Manhattan has spoken, and therefore the rest of the country has to go with liberal New York values. It is true, in the New York primary, 2 rich liberal New Yorkers won, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And actually, Carly Fiorina has put it very, very well, where she said that Trump and Hillary are flip sides of the same coin. That Hillary has made millions of dollars selling power and access in Washington, and Donald Trump has made billions of dollars buying politicians like Hillary Clinton, buying power and access. Donald is the system. And it's the reason so many Republicans are uniting behind our campaign, because we can't keep making the same mistakes. We've got to have a campaign from the people with a positive, optimistic message based on real solutions, and that's what we're doing. Let me encourage all your listeners. If you're in Indiana, if you're in Pennsylvania, come to our rallies, come to our events. You can find out the information on tedcruz.org, tedcruz.org. Please, please, please come out and vote on Tuesday in Pennsylvania and Maryland and Delaware and Rhode Island and Connecticut, and a week from Tuesday in Indiana, and also to everyone nationwide. Thank you to each of you who've gone to tedcruz.org.
And we'll be following it.
And I appreciate it, Dana. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Ted Cruz, everyone.